Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Spark of Genius Flesh and Blood production with a gameplay CC replay here. So this is the Polish Nationals, top four. Kano into Lexi.
Yeah,
Second time we're doing Kano twice in a row now. I'll just say Lexi twice in a row. It was Kano twice in a row. Joined by my co-creator, co-commentator, co-caster, co-compatriot Rob.
Yeah, I will add this is the finals for the Polish Nationals.
Oh, ignore the top four. It's the finals.
They have that for the entire video for all like 4 games. So yeah, this is just the final match. Yeah.
That's fair. So, of course, Bright Lights is coming out. We will have new content on Bright Lights stuff, you know, spoiler season, reviews, deck text, maybe, like all kinds of stuff related to Bright Lights. But and draft content, oh man, I know people have been waiting for some draft.
That's going to be a very fun draft, I think. I'm looking forward to it.
All 200 viewers are going to be waiting for that that limited content. I can't wait. But
I mean, those who like it really like it, you know.
Yeah, no, it's fair. So we got a little bit of filler here, and this is gonna be I think it's Pavel versus. Oh man, I'm bad.
I'm not even gonna try.
Okay, Pavel and then the other guy,
Bart.
Bart. He's gonna be Bart.
There you go.
We're just Americanizing everything now, but Bart and Pavel. So let's get this going on here. They're starting their flip. We'll do our best to kind of show you. There's a little bit of glare and other things on the stream.
And the way the video was formatted too, like the health totals are so large that it makes it hard to zoom in on the field, or else you won't see the health totals. But hopefully it's big enough, and if you full screen this, it's hopefully okay.
Yeah, full screen is fine. Interesting. So the Kano is running Spellfire Cloak. We did see the Kano in Australia, I think, also run Spellfire Cloak, and that's because like these games go within 3 turns, right? So the idea is that if you think you can blow up your opponent, you know, in a reasonable time frame, i.e. less than 3 turns, obviously, you can run the Spellfire because it's going to give you the 1 pitch immediately. And on the Lexi side, you see AB2 with Snap. So we do see Kano going first. I'm assuming Lexi probably had choice and wanted to go second. With AB2, it makes a lot more sense because you're not taking that much damage, but you're able to go second. So Kano can't really like, super abuse.
Getting in there.
Red Spindle with AB2.
Was that
so it is
Red
effectively
Spindle?
a blue spindle.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. He did pitch too. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's true.
Interesting pitch, though. It's a blue Chilling Ice Vein, so possibly a Fuseless. Get it? Fuseless, not a Fuseless. Fuseless. Looks like Kano got E-Pod off the top, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's always fun. Turn 1, do some damage, get a combo piece out. That's quite nice.
Yeah, because the Spindle must have found it off the opt, which is kind of exactly what you want to find. Pitch another blue, find either a potion of E-Pod or a potion of Deja Vu, something you can get out with another blue, and then Arsenal, ideally a combo piece. If you got one this early,
Wildfire would be nice.
Wildfire is the combo piece.
The piece.
Like that's the one you really do need. With AB2, it is important to know. Oh, is this Pavel versus Pavel? Oh, perfect. Okay, it's actually Pavel versus
no more Bart.
It's not Pavel versus Bart. No, Bart is not here.
Oh, they changed it to finals now. Let's go.
Okay, so pitching a channel to fire a fused Ice Vein. So this is definitely not a fuseless list.
It's a fuse list.
Yeah, it's a fuse list. I haven't seen channel pitched in a very long time on the Lexi side, because channel used to be kind of like one of the really awkward ice cards because you generally didn't have an ice. Like you didn't necessarily, you can get it out like for like a turn, but like that's it.
That'd be it.
And if you're not Icelander, you can't get it really for like a turn and a half. It's really just a turn. Kano going to be pitching the eye in response to the chilling. There is another arrow in Arsenal with
it's a face-up arrow, but I really can't tell what it is.
That's fine. We're doing what we got. This is
doing
kind
our best here.
All we got here. Yeah. Oh, I mean, we just really can't see what it is.
You mean you can't tell what arrow that is based on the top like 20% of the card? Come on, man.
No, it's not. And it's not an elemental arrow.
No, it might be like a searing or something, judging by the glow.
I could believe that, but we do see in response a red Aether Flare being buffed to 4. So we have
off the top there.
Yeah, so it looks like it was a Kano in response to that. Gonna pitch another blue, so gonna only do
Crucible. 2. Yeah.
I wonder.
Very aggressive counterplay.
Yeah, because like if you're not gonna block the chilling anyways, you're gonna have to discard regardless.
Oh, he had a snapback. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. Interesting. We haven't seen that in the previous list, I don't think. I think it's a rarer card to see.
He might have not maybe he just didn't play it, but I think there are snapbacks in some of the lists. Snapback is a good card. You can't run it in Blitz, but you can run it in CC.
Right.
And it looks like it's going to be a red one because it usually comes in for 3 and gets buffed by 2 from the flare, and you can play it as instant. You know, on your own turn. It's one of those cards where you don't have to Kano it or Striders it. You can just play it as an instant if you play another wizard non-attack. So that's going to be buffed. Going to prevent 1, it looks like. So Snapback going to come in for 4 damage.
Yeah, he hasn't decided to get some E-Pots. And blocks the tome. There we go. I think we're caught up now.
That arrow is a Heat Seeker. I can actually see it from the tip.
Oh, there it is. Okay, it was close.
Searing Shine?
Searing?
Yeah, Searing Shine here is Heat Seeker. And then he's going to use his remaining floating. So that's the reason he kept the 1 back, because he needed to fire the Heat Seeker.
Absolutely. Yeah, and there's no on-hit with that snapback, so you might as well take the 1. Interesting. Snapping for a... what's that card called again?
Lightning
Surge, not Press. Yeah, Lightning Surge. Oh my god.
So, I mean, Snap's getting 4 value. It's not awful, and he does Heat Seeker and a Rain Razor.
Rain Razor. That's amazing. Yeah, worth.
They're not bothering updating the life totals on the phone, which is unfortunate for us.
So Kano took the 5, I think, from the Heat Seeker. Playing out of channel. That's quite strong. It makes the Kano cost 4, which is really tough to play around.
This deck has a lot of ice in it. It's interesting.
It might be ice heavy. Yeah. Hopefully you can pitch another ice card because that's actually never mind. That's an ice card in Arsenal in pitch, right?
Pitch, yeah. He pitched the Winter Spite to play the channel with the Rain Razors. It's a little bit. It's not like I understand the build. I just think it definitely has some issues. With just presenting enough damage every single turn. So I will use the 1 remaining floating to load it. Endless Arrow, give it go again, I imagine, as one does. I guess blocking 6, no reason to use the Rain. Channel will take up 1. You're going to use the second Arsenal because you have Rain Razors, which you can play off everything.
Exactly, yeah. I'm starting to wonder if an Ice build is favorable into Kano compared to the full aggro build, like the Fuseless list.
Definitely have more blues.
Blues, that's true. And if you activate Lexi to flip an ice card every turn, Kano has to decide if he wants to respond there or take the Frostbite and not be able to Kano basically for his or for the rest of Lexi's turn. Yeah. But then again, you're lacking in power, right? You're not going to be able to race the Kano before he gets his combo pieces off.
Yeah, that's kind of the one major thing here. Like the snaps for the Lightning Surge essentially really is just shows you that not the most high power, like the snaps for 4 is just like a regular power snaps here. We do see the Rain Razors coming out, Hamstring Shot, the other card that Pavel had in the arsenal being flipped from Lexi. Another Winter's Bite. I gotta imagine there's like a fair amount of blue cards and they're just like all ice cards at this point. Like I don't even know if he's running any blue arrows at this point, but he must be. But like all we've seen is ice, so he really does want to. You can see he doesn't have the second ice card in hand. You can see it's only the Winter's Bite because I think the rest of those look like non-elemental cards. So
so not being able to keep Channel Lake around for 1 more turn, which is too bad. But that's typically what you're going to see if you're running it in Lexi.
Yeah, like even Oldhim, similar kind of idea. Like the really only deck who could do it very well is Icelander.
Asking to read the hamstring there.
The Hamstring Shot, which is fine. This looks like a Searing Shot that was loaded with Go Again off the Voltaire. So this is going to come in for 6, deal an additional 1 damage.
Yep.
Blocking for 6 here. Kano on his turn, just Arsenal, I believe. It was just channel is up. You can't really do much because it's like.
Yeah, you don't have to pay
it's going to cost you 2 cards. Yeah, it's going to cost you 2 cards to Kano and then 1 for every additional. So not really enough to do something major. Just want, and you see, he still clearly wants the Arsenal card. So I hazard to say it's probably some kind of piece, but Kanoing the second E-Pot on that response turn off the chilling.
Yeah.
I think that was the second one was off the chilling. It was the Kano into the second E-Pot into blocking with Tome.
Yeah.
Very, very good. So when that channel is gone, definitely going to be quite helpful.
Oh, CNC. After he blocked with 2 cards. So this is pretty interesting. So Kano pretty much has to give his entire hand because there's like no block on his side. No armor to speak of, really.
No armor because there's no tunic, right? So because there's no tunic, he can't really like turn a 3-block and 2-block into a block. He has to have the 2 3-blocks. And the fact that he didn't slam it down kind of makes me believe he might not have the 2 3-blocks.
There might be a combo piece in hand that he really doesn't want to give up. But
yeah, that's also true.
it's either a combo piece in hand or a combo piece in arsenal, so you got to give something up. And I think he's going to keep a card back in his hand to arsenal that instead and give up the. Oh, it's a snapback. Okay, that's fine.
The second snapback he's at in the arsenal here. So I think the card in hand is probably a more valuable card, either like a.
Oh, it was a tome. Okay. So
okay.
Gonna draw two.
So if he did want to keep the snapback, he wouldn't be able to do it anyways without because the tome blocks 2. But
exactly, he couldn't cover the CNC entirely.
Yeah, so he's just gonna filter. It looks like pitching the sonic boom because he doesn't want to keep the sonic boom in hand, and he wants to find just combo pieces ASAP, or he wants to find blues or combo pieces, right? Because he's gonna need the blues to go off the maximum with his epots. So really, the only cards he's looking for are combo and blue, and he needs to find them decently fast. I mean, he's at 15, so Lexi, one good turn. Starting with Codex, yes, okay. Interesting.
You don't usually see that because you want to make sure you play that when you have no cards in hand. So this is, he'll have to give up a card.
It is interesting, though, because with the Ice, we haven't really seen the Ice Lexi builds use Codex because it's just been fuseless since Codex has been released. It's just been all fuseless, right?
Yeah.
So Ice Lexi does brick a lot more in the fact that sometimes you need the ice for things like chilling.
Yeah.
But in this case, he finds a Lightning Surge, which is pretty reasonable because you could flip it for the go again off Lexi, and that's what he's going to do. So that's going to give his Hamstring Shot go again, and Lightning Surge itself has go again for 4 go again, and he's going to get Ponders.
I don't think I've ever seen those two cards play together, so that's
no.
That's an interesting combo. Yeah.
Not a super normal card to put into your fuse list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
The fuse list, it's all fun and games here. So the Frailty is not going to do anything to Kano, but the Ponder's going to help. And that Hamstring, I'm going to have to assume it's a red one. I can't really see it at this point.
I'm going to assume so too. Yeah.
If it is red, it is coming in for 5, which is kind of nice. And then he'll have, at the very least, the Lightning Surge for 4 go again. And he still has 2 Lexi loads. So if he has 2 0-cost arrows, pretty good, because then you're threatening lethal if he starts to take damage. So it's 5, 4, 4. Let's say he gets +1 on the last arrow. 5, 4, 4, 5. So that's 18 damage, right? So he is threatening lethal for this. Whether Pavel has the combo piece in the arsenal.
We'll just say Kano.
Yeah, I mean, they're both named. It's the same name, which is useful and not useful at the same time.
Just say their last names.
Oh, thank you. So it looks like the Hamstring Shot was red. He's going to be taking 10 off that, and the Lightning Surge could come in for 4 go again. None of this is like super. Like if I was Kano, if you're taking the Hamstring Shot, you're probably taking the Surge, no?
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason for you to take the Hamstring instead of the Surge. I think it counts. It costs 1 more for the first action you play, or first attack action. I forget how it's worded.
Attack action. I think it's an attack action.
So it might not matter.
It doesn't do anything. No,
yeah.
So they're both just
got nourishing. That was running nourishing.
I feel like if he had the nourishing, he would have pitched that towards Crucible to get it out versus the Sonic Boom.
That's a good point. Yeah. Because if you run the nourishing, yes, it's a great card, but you're gonna not deteriorate. You're gonna lessen your chances of drawing combo pieces. So
if you don't,
would you rather draw Aether Spindle or Aether Flare, I guess, or anything else really?
Yeah, Probably. If you don't open with it, you really should be blocking with it or pitching it away because it's just not really a card you want. Oh my good god! He finds the 3rd blind. Well, okay, the first one wasn't blind. The second 2 were blind, right? Because it was off just a Kano just in response, like when he was Kanoing in response to the chilling. And then this is the second blind Kano, getting the 3rd E-Pot. Quite
lucky
nice.
Guy. Yeah, that's very nice. If you're Lexi, you're a little worried seeing 3 E-Pots there.
And this is a response to the Winter Spice, so he hasn't pitched yet. So this is all Kanoing. I wish he would just like put Kano forward or put like a die on it or something, because it's kind of just like. I mean, it doesn't really like the viewership.
It's the only thing he can really do anyway. I think like we can't really assume he's popping his Striders or anything like that. I think he's just
no. He would put the Striders ahead. I think he would be like
at least that you would.
Yeah. But Kano is just probably saying it. Looks like he's gonna Kano again.
Yeah. Just keep Kanoing while it's free or not costing you 1 extra.
Well, before you're being taxed here. So it looks like. Ace of the Ages, going down to 6. That was from the Lightning Surge. They just forgot to update the counters. Not like he's not taking instant damage in response.
Yeah, I was like, where'd that come from? Does Winter's Bite deal damage? Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. So, Gaze of the Ages opt to. He hasn't played another non-attack though, so it's not going.
He won't take it back to his hand, unfortunately. Oh, he played the E-Pod.
Correct.
He actually played the E-Pod, so I think it would count, right? Or
no, it's Wizard non-attack.
it's Wizard
It's not
Okay,
attack. It's
okay.
Wizard.
Never mind.
If you played another, yeah, if you have to play Wizard non-attack, then you put it back into your hand as it resolves.
Oh, that's
and
too bad.
You get the opt 2 regardless. But so he's gonna Kano.
Oh, now he puts it. Oh, because he wants
so he's
to.
He's doing deja vu combo, essentially, but not really. It's not
right,
full
right.
deja vu. It's mini deja vu.
Mini, yeah.
Yeah. So the fourth card in his
the
hand.
Ragamuffin. Yeah. Okay. So there's the. Interesting that he wants to play that, considering he hasn't dealt damage yet.
He hasn't played it yet, so these are just banished.
He's just banishing. Right? I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So what he could do is he could play the cards at instant speed, and before they resolve, just play the rest of the cards at instant speed.
Layer them, and then as you go down the stack, you get to your blazing.
Yeah. Exactly. So essentially, right now, what he did is he played the blazing. So let's stop for a second here and kind of explain this to anyone who's unfamiliar with what Pavel's doing, what the Kano is doing here. So what he did, because he wanted the Wizard non-attack to essentially, if you've played it. And played it doesn't necessarily mean it's being resolved. And so what he's done is he put the cards sideways, indicating those are banished, right? Yep. There's 3 cards, and essentially responded with the Ragamuffins to put his last card on top, which was, like, he drew a card and and when he had one card, put one on top. We're going to assume it was the blazing. I have a hard time figuring it's not
because you want to make sure you put something on top that you know you're going to be able to Kano, right? That wasn't a blind blazing.
Exactly, because you can see the 3 cards in the pitch, so he only has the 1 card left. Now, because he has the gaze, he wants to order the blazing. He wants to play the blazing, then the gaze, ordering the gaze to resolve first. So he's going to be able to opt 2, and it's going to go to hand. It's going to go to hand because it sees the blazing being played. Doesn't mean the blazing has to resolve yet. It just needs gaze just looks for it to be played. So that's what Kano is doing right now to be able to use the second effect that we mentioned before. Okay, so we can keep on to this.
Yeah, so he is doing some tricky stuff to be able to get the gaze back to hand.
Correct, and because it looks odd, it's just like the way he's playing it left to right. But don't read it left to right. Read it like stack in to stack out. It's just like that kind of way. But we do see the op 2 that he's doing at the moment here. So three E-Pods means he's got 2 blues, which is kind of nice. He can do whatever he wants, right?
That's insane. Yeah, basically 2 Kanos off the top. Or just pay for your Metacarpus, on like 3 attacks or 3 non-attack actions.
Yeah, so he's gonna, and then so he had the gaze and the other card in his hand, so he's gonna pitch that gaze to get
double blazing. This has to be his final turn, right? Like he's basically going off here 100%. Yeah.
In response to Winter's Bite, yeah. So he's got 1 more card in hand, right? So he's got the card that he Ragamuffined. Yeah. So he drew 1, put 1 to, but he still had 1 essentially in hand. Yeah, there's that 1 in hand, and then he got the gaze the ages from earlier. So he's got assuming that's a blue, so he's counting. So he's got 10 pitch with the Spellfire.
Popping it all. Okay, nice. You're gonna need a second dice for that. That seems like he would have had more.
Sorry. I'm counting the card in his hand. There's a blue in his hand. He has 10.
It was 6 plus
now
the
he has
1.
10.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So, assuming that's a blue, but Wildfire Strider is the goat here. But AB2 getting through 31 with double blazing, you should be good.
You're fine. I think that because the blazing's gonna double itself, or the second one's gonna be kind of like essentially doubled.
It looks like he's letting. Okay, no, they're just putting. It hasn't resolved. They're just putting it on the stack here. It looks like.
So we're gonna be going from right to left, resolving these cards.
Yeah, we're still at instant speed, like on the blazing here. Like Winter's Bite's not even on the same stack, to be honest. Like this is all just in response to the Winter's Bite.
That's a good point. Yes.
He could let the blazings resolve and still have timing to play. He still gets priority.
You can empty that stack and then fill it up again if you want.
If you want, yeah, because both players need to pass priority for the Winter's Bite to resolve, right? So
exactly.
He's at 7. He must be calculating like if the Wildfire is good enough. I feel like he must have it, or there's
it's going to be the Arsenal card because he must have. I think he drew the card from the top there. Like I don't think he had that in hand before he decided to play the blazings. So the Arsenal card is likely the Wildfire because I don't think you do this without the Wildfire. I think you need to have that.
Yeah, because you Ragamuffin the blazing, so
exactly. Really so his hand was empty there. Yeah.
So if he Wildfired Metacarpus, Crucible, that's 6. Let's
6.
assume that
4 hits. We're gonna assume that Lexi's gonna block
it's
2
all
of it.
blues.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's assume there's like full resources on Lexi.
Yeah,
There's like a card
he
in
can
hand.
block 2 from every non-attack so far. So
yeah, let's assume 2. So 4, and then that just gets multiplied. So 4, and then the first blazing is gonna do 4 plus 4.
So 8.
And the second,
and he's gonna block.
Blazing,
he'll block 2 of it. So it takes 6.
So he's taken 10 so far, right?
And then the next blazing will do 4 plus 10, 14, right?
14. So
and then
14
minus
plus
2
10?
more. Well, minus 2 more, assuming Lexi can block 2 of it. So 12. So that's 22 only. Oh, but we're gonna assume Metacarpus can buff each of those 2. So 24.
That multiplies.
It does. You're right. Oh yeah. So it's gonna be 11. Then the next blazing is gonna do 14. So it should be 25, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because the first blazing will do 1 more. The second blazing will do
2
1
more.
plus the blazing. Yeah, we'll do 2 more. So it's just 3 more. So it's still not 31.
It's
though.
not 31. Yeah. Yeah,
Must be
it's
something
true.
going on.
It's true. Yeah,
Maybe
but
it's could be a snapback.
the third snapback coming in.
That would be game. That would be game if you had a third snapback here.
Oh, it would be for 7. You're right. Yeah, or 8 if you can Metacarpus it. Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure that we're just saying what Kano is saying in his head here. So it looks like he's going to Kano again.
Oh, that's really nice to get a gaze. Yeah. Okay, so he's reducing the pitch count now, but the gaze will just come back, so he basically refunded it for free.
Yeah, he's got 2 cards in hand, one of them being the gaze. So he must just be digging.
Yeah.
He could also be looking for not wildfire. He could be looking on it. Yeah, he could be looking for
Why
wildfire.
not? Although you can't really play both. You have to make sure you put it back on top of your deck. Which you could if you're opting. You know, if it's one of the 2 cards, you just keep it on top and you're okay.
Yeah, and assuming you have the other blue
to pay for it.
And so you'd have 6, and he's at 4 because he used 3 of the 7 to Kano again. You should be fine. You have enough pitch for both. I was more thinking about the Aether Flare and not the Wildfire.
Okay.
Like a Flare would also be pretty decent here because he'd be able to buff 5.
Buff Wildfire, maybe?
It would buff Wildfire, and it would buff the Blazing because it's going to do damage, right? Like the Flare is going to do damage, so it's going to be multiplicative here. So you're going to buff Wildfire, which is going to buff the second Wildfire.
Yeah. He's really doing some mental gymnastics here, I think.
Okay, so after perusing what seemed to be his entire deck in time length here, he's going to use 1 for the Striders, going down to 3 resources, playing... He has 2 cards in hand, right? So we're assuming that 1 is Gaze, we know, and the other is still a mystery card that he had when he Ragamuffins, I believe.
Fair enough, yeah, that makes sense.
Another resource for Crucible. Okay. So he's down to 1.
He's Flare. 1 after playing the Flare. Yeah, Flare costs 1, I believe. Oh, am I wrong?
Flare does cost 1. He's flirting with the dice here.
Just showing the damage. Oh, okay. So I guess he used all of it. He had 4. He used 1 for Striders, bringing it down to 3. Crucible down to 2, and Flare down to 1. He might have 1 pitch.
Metacarpus.
Oh, no, hopefully he pointed
to it. Okay. But if
you Flare is put it on the... Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, there's the snapback. Wait, it's not even a Aether. It's not even a Wildfire.
He's just doing it without Wildfire.
This snapback. Wildfire.
He's gonna Metacarpus it too.
Some OG. This is an OG combo. Oh my god.
It's gonna be 3-3-1. Yeah, 3 buff from Flare.
Does he even run Wildfire? So Lexi pitched 3. Oh, you can't pitch 3. Oh, it was 7-5, I guess. Yeah, okay. So
7-5.
2.
Yeah, he had a yellow. His yellow was the last card in hand here.
Oh man.
The Blazing is going to do 8, and that Blazing is going to do.
Well, it's going to be 5. Oh, what just happened? It just shook hands.
I just said what happened. It's going to do. So Flare did 3. So you have Flare for 3.
Oh,
right?
Flare did 3. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Snapback was for 7 because it's 3 plus 1 from Metacarpus plus the Flare. So it's 3, 3, and 1.
But it only came in for 5 because Lexi pitched 2.
Sure.
So it came
in
8.
5.
So 8
We're
damage.
looking at the first Blazing for 8. Okay. And then the second one for 16.
Okay, I missed the Flare damage because my mind was like, that's not lethal. But with the Flare damage, it makes it... Yeah.
He really just needed any buff card, like Flare or Wildfire, because if you have Snapback, it's just like it's free real estate because you don't need to look for you don't really need to look for any. So was the Snapback from hand? So I actually was right, I guess. It just didn't.
It might have been Arsenal. I forget what was played. Maybe you're right. Let's see. Um, it was from hand. Yeah, his arsenal's empty at this point. Yeah, it was the hand
Yeah.
card.
So
So you're right.
that was the hand card. Wow. I
Um,
didn't actually. I was kind of half joking, but it looks like it was
that's
actually
so
the
funny.
snapback.
Oh man. Wow,
I mean,
I'm very surprised that he pulled it off. But I guess, like you said, if you're doubling the blazing, then yeah, that makes sense. Totally right.
because he only has so the Lexi only had 2 pitch from his blue and then another yellow. So he really only has like 4 block essentially. And with 31, you really need like some way to block a lot of the first hit.
Yeah.
So only blocking 2 is essentially the same thing as wildfire, because yeah, wildfire does provide damage for everything, but if you're able to at least get the upfront buff,
Yeah.
the blazing will just multiply it regardless if you have 2. So you really don't need wildfire unless you only have 1 blazing. If you only have
Right.
1 blazing, you kind of do need wildfire because you need the buff from um
Yeah, the
you need the
wildfire
double
buff.
buff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need blazing. You need blazing Aether to take the wildfire buff and itself, right?
Right.
And
Right.
and the buff from actually doing the
It's
damage
kind
from
of
the
kind of like doubling in a way, but it gets a
yeah.
pretty nice like 4 power buff on top.
This was Kano Lex into Fuse Lexi, and now
Mm-hmm.
you got to think if that was fuseless, do you think it would have gone on so long?
Honestly, Lexi did a lot of stuff that even a fuseless list would have done, besides the channel mounts. But we did see the heat
Channel
seeker
Lake.
turn channel link. We did see the heat seeker. We saw the rain razor. So a lot of that stuff is pretty standard to a fuseless list anyway. So I think at least 2 of those turns were like didn't really involve fusing.
This is
We
true.
saw
I think
Winter's Bite, which it's fine. Didn't
I
really
think
matter because Kano just went off.
the only issue was he snaps for a lightning surge, which was just like
Yeah,
fine.
that
Or
feels like
vanilla
it's
doesn't do anything.
yeah, pretty
But
on curve, I guess, but it wasn't great.
yeah, and it was like then you codex back the lightning surge, which is fine, but you don't really need to give hamstring go again. Like the flip didn't really like. You still had 2 Voltaire triggers. You had an empty arsenal. Like you could have just got, like if you didn't snaps the surge, you can get literally any 1-cost arrow and just snaps that. But you started with codex, so
Yeah, so you lost the card by playing Codex that early. Was it really worth it? I don't know.
like clearly there's some pros to the elemental list if you are able to like proc chilling a lot, and you do much better into like specific aggro matchups if you're able to tax them a lot.
Yeah.
It's quite nice. Now the issue is again, how often do you always have the ice with the arrow? Like how often are you drawing a brick hand?
You're breaking more often as well.
Yeah, 3 of a kind drawing like channel Winters by Winters
Right.
by something like we did.
Yeah,
In
fewer
like,
arrows probably.
Yeah. But yeah, this was a game. If congratulations, Kano, winning the
Congratulations, Pavel, for winning.
yeah, good job, Pavel. Only national championship that Kano won, I think.
I believe so. Yeah, I can't remember if one won after this. This was pretty early. This was week 1 or week 2, I forget. Yeah. So there might be one at this point that won again, but he was the first,
Sure.
and at that point the only one.
No, that's fair. Well, if you like this kind of content, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And with that, from wherever you're watching in the world, have a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Bye for now.